Now, this story about the police minister Bheki Cele promising to arrest of those accused of killing Kgomotso Diale within 48 hours. Diale was shot and killed during violent clashes with alleged cable thieves in Kliptown's chicken farm informal settlement on Monday. Manqoba Mchunu covering the story for us today. He's joining us this hour. Manqoba, good afternoon. So the police minister has made several promises to the community. Chief amongst is to capacitate the Kliptown police station and as well as to arrest the killers of Kgomotso Diale.
Indeed, Brother. In fact, the police minister was here just earlier on speaking to community members and making those promises to the community that they will, of course, look for those suspects that are responsible for the killing of Kgomotso Diale, and also that they have deployed a team of detectives, about 12 of them, to investigate the murder of Kgomotso Diale. And, of course, the issue of cable theft, which we know is one of the issues that sparked the march that took place on Monday to Chicken Farm informal settlement, but also the issue of policing. There's been many complaints that have been raised by community members as far as policing is concerned. Earlier on, we spoke to some community members who said that they want the police station to be shut down. They accuse the police of failing to deliver services, saying that when police are called by community members, they never respond. And in fact, from one of the engagements by the Minister of Police with the community members, one community members even went as far as saying that they had reported this issue of cable theft to the police. They had called for police to come and actually investigate this particular issue, but the police were not forthcoming. They have not been servicing this community as far as that is concerned. But we're here, Praten, at the home, the family home of Kgomotso Diale. That's where the Minister of Police had visited earlier on to convey his condolences to the family and, of course, promising a speedy arrest of those behind the arrest. But to speak to the family now, I'm joined by Kgomotso Diale, who's the younger brother of Kgomotso Diale. Kgomotso, thank you for your time. I know it must be difficult for you as a family to speak to us, but how are you doing right now?
I think right now we're all kind of overwhelmed with the attraction that the whole situation has caused in the media. I know my brother, I think he would have appreciated it because I think it focuses also on a bigger issue that just goes beyond himself, because that's why I think he took part in all of it, because it was an issue that affected everyone in the community. So we're overwhelmed as a family in general, because it's just constant information and reaction to the whole situation.
Your brother's death, surely you must still are trying to get to terms and with the way he was killed. How is it for you as a family?
I think also it was just a bit shocking in terms of how it happened. I think the violence of it was too much to hear about, but also being there to witness, because you have to identify it, was a bit of a toll. But after 24 hours, I can say that probably we are talking about it more frequently and we're engaging with the community more often, and a lot of people are showing help. So that's been helpful to ease the shock of it all.
And your brother, I know he was very passionate about this issue of electricity. He was part of that protest of people that went there to fight for this issue. What are your memories of him? What kind of a person was he?
So he was he was a very bubbly person, because he cared a lot, but also he had a very wicked sense of humor. He was very smart also. He did intimidate me most of the time, and we usually had conversations in between work, because I opened a studio across from his room. So we take breaks together and have conversations. So he was very enlightful talking to him, but he always saw himself as someone who was in a position of having to help, I think. He most of the time was really just accused of seeing himself as a villain, and he never was. So for him to have the send-off is something that's quite special, and I think that's why he would love it.
The police minister was here earlier on, and there are other officials from the city of Joburg who are currently here talking to the family. What are you hoping for in terms of justice?
I'm hoping for the same thing that my brother told him directly, that we would like to see some sort of action, to have some sort of consequence to all of it, because it wasn't fair. And he was here that morning with us, singing and cleaning the yard, and suddenly he wasn't there anymore. So we would like for some answers and just justice in general, but also just an implementation to help not kill someone else because of the situation that affects the entire community. So that's where we stand as a family.
Okay, well, thank you for speaking to us. That was Kgomotso Diale, who's a younger brother of Kgomotso Diale. Of course, the 44-year-old was one of the victims of that altercation. The Minister of Police is also visiting another family as we speak of a person that was also injured during that altercation. There were several people that were injured in that altercation. But what the community members have made clear is that this was not in any way linked to Operation Dudula. In fact, they're saying that this was a peaceful protest by community members to that informal settlement to try and perhaps deal with the issue of cable theft that has been a problem for this community. Well, there are some of the officials from the city of Johannesburg, including the MMC for Public Safety, David Tembe, who are currently here with the family, of course, here to also convey their condolences to this particular family.
Thank you very much, Manqoba Mchunu.